Okay, hello students. Okay, today we're going to continue our study on the geomorphology and also geology of Hong Kong. Before I have already introduced and explained what are the three main type of rock. Okay, in the earth, igneous rock, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. And then this time, we're going back to Hong Kong, and we're going to have a look what would be like the geomorphology, or that is like the relief and also the geology of Hong Kong. So we are going to have a picture that's in which part of Hong Kong. Okay, so what type of rocks could be found. I would say this is important as it would affect like the relief of Hong Kong. So therefore, let's go back to the textbook. Okay, let's go back to the textbook here, and we're going to talk about like first, what would be the geomorphology of Hong Kong. So geomorphology, you may understand it as in Chinese 地形學啦。Okay, 地形學. So what would be, or you may understand what would be like the relief or the landscape, what type of landform. Okay, so in the place. So geomorphology is the study of the landforms. Okay, so you may highlight, okay, landforms, landforms, and also the landscape, okay, of the Earth's surface, as well as the process that shape them. So therefore, we are going to talk about what would be the process. Oh no, what would be the landscape and how these landscapes, okay, are formed. It can help explain why our physical landscape look the way they do. For example, why there will be the Lion Rocks in Hong Kong？咦，香港好出名嘅獅子山啊！咦，點樣形成？點解會係咁樣樣嘅呢？Okay, so if we want to explain like this, the formation of the hill, the formation of those rock, this study, that is what we called geomorphology. Okay, 一個地形學啦。So therefore, what would be like the case in Hong Kong? So we always mention that like the relief of Hong Kong is rugged and also hilly. Okay, so you may highlight these rugged and hilly. Okay, let me make it larger. Okay, rugged and hilly. Okay, so about 30% of the land has a shape that generates a greater and 30 degree. You may say that could be like the steep slope, okay, which has a slope angle greater than 30 degree, what we call like the steep slope. However, that is only about like 10% of the territory is natural flatland, okay, which is found mostly in the new territories. Again, we have to ask why the landscape in Hong Kong it would be like this. So therefore, before we move to the explanation, let's have a look what type of landscape, okay, it could be found. The first one, upland, or the hill, the peak, or the range，一啲高地啦，OK， 山啊，太平山啊，大霧山啊等等。OK，or range 一啲嘅山脈啦，連住啲山啦，or one of the like the range, or you may say like the ridge that is very famous, like in Hong Kong, Pat Sin Land, 八仙嶺啦。Okay, so let's have a look. In general, the relief of the central part of Lantau Island. Okay, so you may highlight Lantau Island. You should remember this. Okay, the central and eastern part of the new territory. Okay, central of eastern part of new territories. So that would be like the cyclone area are higher and steeper. Okay, so main hills and range run in the northeast southwest direction. Okay, northeast southwest direction. So you may understand it as if there's a map like this. Okay, if this is the map of Hong Kong. If this is the map of Hong Kong. So most range or hills. So actually, they would run in a northeast southwest direction. What does that mean? That would be like this. In this direction. In this direction. Okay, in this direction. Northeast southwest. And where you can see most of the upland and hills in Hong Kong. First, Lantau Island, the central part of Lantau Island. Okay, remember you must memorize those areas. The second one, New Territories, the eastern part and central part of the New Territories. Okay, the eastern and the central part of the New Territories. So therefore, let's have a look. Let's have a look. So you may move to the next page. That will be the relief map, okay, of Hong Kong. Just now we talk about the central part of Lantau Island. That would be the upland or the hill. That would be this part. That would be this part, the upland. And you can see the area. It would be like in this way. In this way. Okay, northeast southwest direction. Northeast southwest direction. And then the second one, the central part of New Territory. That would be here. That would be here. That would be what we call like the Tai Mo Shan, 大帽山啦，大帽山啦。Okay, and then inside Kong, you can also see, okay, inside Kong, that would be this part, okay, that would be this part. So therefore, that would be the major. This one, if I remember correct, it should be like Ma On Shan. This is Ma On Shan, and also so part of the Fei Shan. Okay, so that would be for this area. So you can see that is a range that extends from the northern Kowloon Peninsula to Sai Kung. Okay, so to the country part. So therefore, that would be the major upland in Hong Kong. The major upland in Hong Kong. Okay, then next, the lowland. The lowland. Lowland. Okay, so where would be the lowland in Hong Kong? Most natural lowland are located in the northern and northwestern part of New Territories. Okay. Of the New Territories. There are two major types of lowland. The first one, floodplain. Floodplain. So there's this extensive flatland, okay, at the lower course of the river, especially, okay, it is formed by the deposition of the fluvial sediment, okay. For example, like in Yunnan, okay, so the river we have learned, okay, so the river we have mentioned before, like the Campton River, okay, Campton River, this one, and also Tin Shui Wei, so that would be the lower course of the river. So all this area that would be the floodplain. So therefore, if you look at the example in your textbook, you can see Campton Yunnan Plain is the largest floodplain in Hong Kong. Then the second one. Okay, so that would be the coastal plain. Coastal plain 沿岸嘅一啲嘅平原啦。So bay or sheltered coastal area provide a climate environment that favor the deposition of the sediment, forming coastal plains such as the beach and also the wetland. So where we can find this coastal plain? So like the wetland in Maipole are example. I would say that would be the major flatland, okay, like in Hong Kong. So the floodplain and the coastal plain. So therefore, when we move to the map in the next page, okay, so you can see where would be the flatland. The first one, the floodplain, In Yuen Long, that would be here. Okay, here, Yuen Long. So the Camtin Yuen Long Plain, okay, together with Camtin. That would be the lower course of the river. And then the coastal plain, my pole, that would be this part. Okay, my pole, the coastal plain. So therefore, in the northwestern part of the new territories, so need this one, that would be the major flatland or the lowland. Okay, in Hong Kong. However, is that the only? Of course, no. Of course, no. We can. There are some other flatlands like in Hong Kong. For example, here, Shang Shui and Fan Ling, and together with their, okay, so that would be the Long Valley, 朗園濕地啦, and the Shang Shui and Fan Ling. These are also the lowland or the flatland, and they are the floodplain. Remember, they are the floodplain. So these are the major flatlands in Hong Kong. Okay, then the third type of landscape, so we're going to talk about, that would be valley. Okay, valley. 河谷啦. Okay, so the major valley in Hong Kong are this dissected by the fault that run in both northeast southwest and northwest southeast direction. The fault pattern control the orientation and drainage basin and valley in Hong Kong. For this, the faulting system, so we're going to discuss this in the next unit. But right now, I'm going to uh, just do a very, very brief and simple explanation. First, where would be the valley in Hong Kong? Okay, so you may have a look from this map. Okay, I use blue to show. The first one, a very, very important valley, okay, in Hong Kong. Okay, remember these are the flatland first. Okay, right now we're going to talk about valley. One of the famous valley in Hong Kong, so that would be here. Sha Tin. Okay, Sha Tin New Town that locate in the valley. And you can see the shape that would be like this. That would be like this. This is also what we call just now the orientation, that is northeast southwest. OK， 你會見到佢嗰個坐向係由東北去西南嘅，因為香港最主要嘅斷層帶，最主要嘅斷層都係呢一個方向，東北西南，東北西南，得唔得？And then if there's other valley like in Hong Kong, of course yes, that would be here. Okay, Lam Chun Valley, Lam Chun Valley 呢個係林村河，係啦，林村河嗰個河谷。Okay, and other smaller that would be this. Okay, it will be this. I draw it wrong. Okay, so let me draw it again for the shot in this one. Okay, for shot in this one. Okay, so that would be like this. That would be like this. However, the real fault line, that is like this. That would be the major fault line in Hong Kong. 香港最主要嗰個斷層帶，嗰個斷層係喺呢度。Okay, so the major one, the major fault line. However, if there's other fault line, yes, that would be in other direction. That would be in other direction. Just now mentioned in your textbook, that would be the northwest southeast. Northwest southeast. That would be here. You can see. Okay, so the major, that would be northeast southwest, and then the minor northwest southeast direction. So therefore, okay, so other minor, okay, so fault line, that would be like this. That would be like this. Okay, so if I remember correct. Okay, so we'll discuss this later. Okay, we'll discuss this later. So therefore, that would be about the distribution of the upland, flatland, and also valley in Hong Kong. And then the last one, The last type of landscape that is what we call the submerged landscape. Okay, in Chinese 下沉地貌啦。So what does that mean? So before we talk about or I explain this, we should know that, okay, in the eastern part of Hong Kong, such as Sai Kung, some lands are submerged into the sea with no lowland or beach along the coast. They are called a submerged landscape or drowned landscape. Lowland features such as floodplain, lower course of river are nearly absent, okay, or poorly developed. Many small islands are located in the vicinity of the shore, which suggests that they were formerly healed. This submerged landscape was formed after the end of the large glacial period. 西貢呢一帶 okay, so we go back to the map. So 西貢 here. 西貢呢一帶你揾唔到話有一啲嘅valley，見唔到有 coastal plain，大部分都係島嶼。咁點解會係有啲咁樣嘅地貌呢？就係因為以前係啦，OK， explained especially after the end of the last glacial period， 就係當上一次嘅冰河時期完結嘅時候，咁就氣温上升啦。當氣温上升嘅時候，咁好多冰就會溶解啦。當啲冰溶解，令到當時上一次嘅冰河時期嘅完結，佢哋有大量嘅海水，大量嘅冰溶解，咁所以咧令到嗰個水平面就會上升。當地球嗰個水平面上升嘅時候咧，水位上升啦，你當水位上升啦，咁樣咧比較一啲你可以見到 ，so for 2.11, the formation of the submerged landscape, you can see large area in the coastal area will be drowned。一啲沿岸地區就會浸咗啦，一啲比較高少少嘅地方，佢浸過咗之後就會變成一啲嘅島嶼啦。Okay, so that's why we would call this a submerged landscape。而點解就會叫一啲嘅下沉地貌啦？ Okay, so therefore in Hong Kong, where can we find this submerged landscape? That would be in the part of Sai Kung, okay, this one. And also, when we talk about like the geology in Hong Kong, you should know that this area, actually, it was a very, very large caldera, okay, in Hong Kong. In the past, okay, of course in the past. 呢個曾經係香港嘅一個火山口，咁佢你可以當咧都火山口啊，或者破火山口啊，咁呢度咧咁就係嗰個火山口嗰個位置。咁所以點解我哋喺西貢會一個咁重要嘅地質公園？咁就係因為喺呢笪地方咧，咁揾到好多咁樣同火山有關嘅呢嘅遺跡，係啦。咁呢啲咧我哋遲啲有時間咧，我哋會再講嘅。係啦，但係而家我哋知道 ，OK, so for cyclone, so that is mainly the submerged landscape. Okay, submerged landscape. Okay, so therefore that would be the major geomorphology of Hong Kong. 香港嘅地形大約會係咁樣啦。Okay, then next, what would be the general geology of Hong Kong? 香港嘅地質又係點樣呢？ Okay, so geology actually that is the study of the rock, okay, and the geological structure that make up of the earth. So therefore, we need to know what type of rocks, okay, it could be found in Hong Kong. Geology 地質學講石頭為主嘅，係啦，講佢個石頭嗰個嘅composition，講啲 minerals，okay. So therefore, if you look at this, the geological map of Hong Kong， 呢個係香港嗰個地質圖啦。Okay, remember mark a star for this figure. Okay, for the geology you must know, okay, which part in Hong Kong you can find the rock in Hong Kong. Okay, so how do we study this map? Remember, you must memorize those features. How do we study this map? Okay, so we start from Hong Kong Island. Okay, there's the place where you are familiar with it. 我哋由香港島開始先，得唔得？係啦，你熟啲嘅。First, for Hong Kong Island, okay, so you can see in the northern part, okay, northern coast of Hong Kong Island. So for the pink area, so that is the granitic rock， 以花崗岩為主嘅。Okay, so that would be in the northern coast, northern part of Hong Kong Island, together with the Kowloon Peninsula. Okay, Kowloon Peninsula. Okay, Kowloon Peninsula, and part of the southern New Territories. Okay, so it means that that would be the area of the Victoria Harbour。圍住維港呢度啦，以花崗岩為主。And then for other places such as Lemmer Island, okay, so the place in the southern tip of Hong Kong Island, Po Toi Island, so the eastern Lantau Island, Cheung Chau, Ping Chau, okay, and then in Two Moon, the western, and also Thailand, okay, all these that would be granitic rock, or we would say like the granite。呢啲係以花崗岩為主，得唔得？花崗岩為主。Okay, then the second one, that would be the green one. Okay, remember mark a star for this. The green one， 綠色嗰啲啦，跟住睇。Okay, so the southern part of Hong Kong Island, the western part of Lantau Island. Okay, and then the eastern part of the western part, the eastern. Okay, I'm sorry, the eastern part of the New Territories. That is the Sai Kung. And then the central part of New Territories, and then the northern part of New Territories. Okay, so these are the volcanic rock。呢啲係以火山岩為主，係啦，記得係非常非常之重要嘅，一定要記得佢哋嗰個位置。加埋頭先 Mr. Liu 講完 ，OK, I just said that. So in this area, in Sai Kung, just now I say it. Okay, the eastern part or in Sai Kung, it was a crater. Okay, it was a caldera。佢呢個係火山口，佢呢個真係真真正正喺地面出邊嘅火山口。So therefore, it was what we call like a volcano。It was a volcano. So therefore, if it was a volcano, therefore there must be volcanic eruption in the past。所以呢度一定係之前有出現過火山爆發。咁火山爆發咁係咩嚟嘅咧？係一啲嘅 exclusive volcanicity。Okay, exclusive volcanicity. I hope you still remember. Okay, so exclusive volcanicity. Therefore, the rocks that formed by those exclusive volcanicity, okay, it must be the volcanic rock。呢啲係噴出火山作用啊！佢係喺地面度噴出嚟㗎啦，咁所以出咗嚟嗰啲岩漿，佢凝結形成嘅岩石就一定係呢一啲嘅火山岩，係啦，一定係火山岩㗎啦。So that's why, so that is how we associate with the previous activities, okay, of the existing rock in Hong Kong, in Sai Kung, okay. So you should memorize this, okay, all this area. That will be the volcanic rock because Sai Kung was a volcano. Okay, it was a volcano. So therefore, make sure you know this. And then for the granite, okay, so that is granite that is formed underground. Okay, that is underground. That is the intrusive volcanicity. So how do we memorize this? That is around the Victoria Harbour. Okay, at the Victoria Harbour, on both sides of Kowloon Peninsula and Hong Kong Island. Okay. Then that is how we memorize the location. Then the last one. What about the sedimentary rocks? 沉積岩呢 ？OK， 有冇嘅咧？香港有。Okay, so the major distribution of the sedimentary rocks that would be in the northeastern part of Hong Kong。OK，northeastern part of Hong Kong near the Tolo Harbour。OK，Tolo Harbour。香港嘅東北呢一度啦，咁就係以沉積岩為主噶啦，係啦，沉積岩為主噶啦。OK，點記呢？你可以咁記，雖然兩者關係係冇嘅，係啦，但係呢個位置你點記呢？全香港最古老，OK， 最古老嘅石頭，同埋全香港最年青、最後生嘅石頭，都係喺呢一度，係啦，都係喺呢度，佢哋都係沉積岩。咁你可以咁樣去到記啦。OK， 最後生喺邊度呢？東平洲。OK， 東平洲最後生噶啦。OK， 最古老喺邊度呢？ So the Buffhead this part 黃竹角咀係啦，黃竹角咀咁好多倍嘅。咁黃竹角咀差唔多3億至4億年噶啦。東平洲我唔希望我冇記錯。Okay, it should be about 2 million, something like this. Oh no, 20 million, if I remember correct. Okay, I'll check it later. So therefore, that would be about the distribution, okay, of the geology of Hong Kong. And then for other, okay, you can also see some like sediment, okay. So the quaternary deposits and also the reclaimed land. So for the deposits, you can see most area that would be in the northwestern part of Hong Kong. Just now we have mentioned that would be the fluvial landscape in Yuen Long, that would be the floodplain, okay. So therefore, that would be the major rock distribution or the geology, okay, in Hong Kong. Then you can see what are the major type of Hong Kong, okay, in Hong Kong. So that would be volcanic rock and also granitic rock. Okay, so area of volcanic rocks, okay, consists with area of steepest relief. Rare areas of granitic rock consists with the gently relieved. Okay, so one more I need to talk about, that is, okay, I hope you can find out the relationship. 好啦，咁呢度我就拆咗佢先啦，Okay, just now in the previous part, we have mentioned the upland in Hong Kong。頭先講過啦，香港嘅山喺邊度？講咗3個部分嘅，The first one, Tam Mo Shan，大帽山 the central part of New Territories， 呢度頭先畫出嚟㗎啦，啱啱喺上面畫出嚟。And then the western part of the Lantau Island here, 鳳凰山。And then the eastern part of New Territories, 西貢 here. So therefore, what would be the pattern? 香港嘅高地同啱啱我哋睇完嘅地質有咩 pattern 呢？ That is, you can observe most upland in Hong Kong. So that associate with the rock type, that would be the volcanic rock. 香港嘅高地大部分啦，唔係全部啦，或者最高嘅位置咧，都係火山岩，係啦，都係火山岩。For example, the peak 係啦，太平山呢度，太平山都係火山岩。Okay, so for the other area, okay, for the granite, the area that's much lower. So therefore, you can look at the area here. Volcanic rocks, okay, with deeper relief. Granitic rock with gentler relief. 咦？火山岩斜啲，花崗岩類比較平緩少少。咁點解呢？ Here you may say that is the resistant. Okay, if we compare these two type of rocks, volcanic rock would have a relatively higher resistance than granitic rock. OK， 呢個要間低佢，以個 resistance 嚟計，係啦，嗰個抗蝕力嚟計，火山岩係比呢一類嘅花崗岩係高嘅。That's why. So for the volcanic rock would have the steeper relief, while granitic rock gentle relief. It is because It is because the granitic rock that is, or it can be weathered easily， 容易啲係去到風化。咁我哋之後講風化得唔得？咁花崗岩係容易啲受到風化嘅，得唔得？因為長石係尤其是係會容易啲俾呢個化學風化去到所影響嘅。Okay? So therefore, that would be the relationship between volcanic rock and granitic rock. That's why, like here from the map. Okay, so most upland in Hong Kong. So actually, that associate with volcanic rock. 香港比較高啲地方，一定或者大部分主要都係以火山岩為主，係啦，因為火山岩嗰個抗蝕力個 resistance 會係高過花崗岩。Okay, so therefore that would be one of the explanations. And then, okay, here, okay, actually I have explained most of the content. Okay, so when we talk about like the volcanic rock, so volcanic rock is formed by the exclusive volcanicity just now I've mentioned. So that is the major type of rock in Hong Kong. Okay, so where can we find that? The central part of New Territory and the eastern part. Okay, so Tai Mo Shan and also near Sai Kung Peninsula, the southern part of Hong Kong Island, okay, the southern part of Hong Kong Island, and the western part of Lantau Island, 鳳凰山啦，鳳凰山啦。Okay, so the major majority of volcanic rock are tough 凝灰岩啦 that usually shows fine-grained. Okay, so this one please highlight 係啦，凝灰岩香港嘅火山岩好多都係凝灰岩 ，show a fine-grained texture with small crystal。佢嗰啲火粒好細粒嘅，你會見到一啲好細粒嘅晶體。Okay，as there was little time for the rock mineral to crystallize. Okay, little time during or after the volcanic eruption. Okay, so their texture formed a compact structure. Okay, which make the rock more resistant. Just now I said more resistant to weathering. Therefore, volcanic rock near tend to produce steep relief and the highest peak, like Tai Mo Shan, Lantau Peak, and Sharp Peak. Example, Sharp Peak, if I remember correct in Chinese, it should be 藍蛇尖. Okay, it should be 藍蛇尖. Okay, so therefore that will be the case of volcanic rocks. And then granitic rock 花崗岩啦 ，OK 花崗岩 granitic rock OK so granitic rock are formed by intrusive volcanicity I've mentioned but are exposed on the land surface only when the overlying rocks erode. In Hong Kong, they occupying about 30% of the total land area. So where? So the western part of the New Territories, Tai Lam or Castle Peak, 青山一帶啦，或者係大欖一帶啦。Northern part of Hong Kong Island and Kowloon Peninsula， 頭先講過啦，維港嗰個有地方啦。And Eastern Lantau Island， 大嶼山嘅東邊啦，即係迪士尼嗰度啦。Okay, granitic rock are composed of quartz, feldspar, and mica. Okay, so that is the structure of the granite. Okay, their structure, okay, that is cross-grained texture and with large crystal. For example, you can observe like quartz. 你見到啲石英啦，石英就係一粒粒嘅晶體嚟㗎啦。And one more very important, please highlight this. We may say that it is the well-developed joint. 係啦 ，joint in Chinese we call it 一啲嘅節理啦。係啦，咁你就會喺一嚿石頭嗰度，你見到有啲嘅 cracks， 係啦，你見到有啲嘅裂痕，咁嗰啲我哋就會叫做節理啦。係啦，咁 cracks 有好多種嘅，係啦 ，cracks 有好多種嘅。咁呢一種喺石頭嗰度見到嘅咧，咁我哋叫做 joint. For example, okay, here you can see. Here you can see. I'm not quite sure. Okay, there. Actually, that is a joint. 咁呢啲花崗岩好多節理嘅，咁我唔會試俾你睇㗎啦，但係我可以同你講，咁呢嚿石頭咧，當然戴咗手套先好做。我試過一次唔戴手套做，咁就戒到損晒嘅。呢嚿石頭咧，其實咧，如果你揾到啲 joints 嘅話咧， 你只要揾一支硬少少鐵筆鋥一鋥佢，然之後一掹咧，佢就會一分為二㗎啦。係啦，只要你揾到嗰啲嘅 joints，咁其實佢係相對地比較脆弱嘅。但係如果冇呢啲 joints，你唔喺個 joints 嗰度，你咁哼佢咧，咁好硬嘅。係啦，但係一揾到佢嗰啲 joints，佢嗰啲弱線啦，我哋叫做係啦，呢度啦，呢度啦，呢度啦，都有條好細好細嘅 joint。咁所以咧，如果呢度 Miss Hill 用少少力一掹咧，一掹咁樣咧，呢度可以一分為二或者三嘅，係啦。不過就好利好利好利嘅。OK，咁我唔會做俾你睇嘅。So therefore, that would be about the case of granite. Then, then, if you look at here, granitic rock altered by the intense weathering because feldspar and mica can be easily weathered。係啦，咁雲母同埋呢啲長石好容易被風化嘅，咁剩低啲咩咧？剩低啲 cross，剩低石英。咁所以咧，你有機會去行山啦，香港島寶馬山啦，你沿住行山徑咁樣去到行，我同你講，你喺地下嗰度係好容易，非常非常之容易揾到一粒粒呢啲嘅石英嘅結晶。係啊，只要你識睇你就知，誒原來地下嗰啲唔係就咁沙嚟嘅。如果你攞上手，你會見到一粒粒半透明，其實係石英。咁點解喺嗰度會有咁多石英呢？就係因為香港島北邊之前講過啦，咁就係以花崗岩為主。咁花崗岩風化咗之後，冇晒啲長石，冇晒啲雲母，咁留翻啲咩？就係留翻啲石英啦。OK，就係留翻啲石英。咁所以石英係好常見嘅。Okay, so especially like in the case of Hong Kong, so the hot and wet climate of Hong Kong, granitic rock are produced lower hilled with rounded topography and lower gradient slope。咁所以相對地，花崗岩嗰啲山就會比較平啲啦，因為容易啲會係去到受到風化啦。Okay, so therefore, you can see that would be 蒲台 Island， 蒲台島啦，咁見到啦，花崗岩為主啦。山頂呢啲比較平嘅，係啊，山頂呢啲比較平嘅。如果火山岩嗰啲會點嘅咧？火山岩嗰啲會咁樣噶啦，火山岩嗰啲會尖嘅，尖啲，係啦，尖啲。頭先講好西貢嗰個 Sharp Island， 我定 Sharp Peak 啊，唔係 Sharp Peak，it should be Sharp Peak， 係啦，尖好多。尖好多嘅。Okay, so therefore there will be a difference between volcanic rock and granitic rock. So after this, okay, sedimentary rocks. So where would be like the sedimentary rocks in Hong Kong? Okay, just now I've mentioned sedimentary rocks in Hong Kong that is less common than the igneous rock. Okay, so mostly it could be found in the northeastern part of Hong Kong. 香港東北邊為主啦。Let's comment. Okay, so they are scattered. Okay, scattered over Hong Kong and occupy only 5%. 分散㗎啦，非常非常之分散㗎啦。Most sedimentary rocks are found in the northeast New Territories, such as Port Island, Buffhead, Tung Ping Chow, or these. Okay, so most sedimentary rocks in Hong Kong are mechanically formed, including conglomerate, breccia, sandstone and mudstone。咁呢啲就係香港有嘅沉積岩為主 ，conglomerate、breccia、conglomerate 角礫岩。breccia 礫岩 ，sandstone 沙岩，mudstone 呢啲泥岩啦。So compared to volcanic rock and granitic rock, sedimentary rocks are least resistant. Okay, least resistant to weathering except conglomerate。咁之前講過 conglomerate 好硬嘅，同埋你要記住 conglomerate 佢雖然係嗰個嘅sedimentary rock，但係 conglomerate 嗰個嘅 resistance 係非常非常之高嘅。得唔得？記住，咁呢個係一個例外嚟嘅。Okay, but for other like breccia, sandstone, and mudstone, so they have a relatively lower resistance to weathering. Okay, so therefore most sedimentary rocks so that would produce exists distinctive low-lying area. However, fields produce mountain range such as 八仙嶺咁八仙嶺相對都高啲嘅，但係嗰帶為主咧都係以sedimentary rocks 為主嘅，咁尤其是 conglomerate，有機會去到唔係流水響，嗰個叫新娘潭係啦，之前講過啦，新娘潭個瀑布都係因為有 conglomerate 去到形成嘅，係咪？咁點解佢會有個 layer 喺度咧？咁佢more resistant rock 嗰層高抵抗力嗰層就係 conglomerate 嚟㗎啦。Okay, so therefore that would be about some examples here. Okay, and then that would be about Port Island. Port Island 赤洲啦。Port Island 喺邊咧？咁可以俾你睇下啦。咁睇翻我哋之前嗰個 map 啦。Port Island it should be here. Here， 赤洲就係呢度啦。係啦，赤洲就呢度啦。咁一樣東北邊嘅係東北邊。Okay. Okay, then the last one, metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock. So actually, for metamorphic rock, rare in Hong Kong，香港冇乜㗎啦，冇乜好少呢個變質岩。Okay, so however, there's still little. Okay, so we can find metamorphized sedimentary rocks only in the northwestern part of the new territories, around like Lorwu and also Lock Marchout. Some underground marble can be found in somewhere area of Yuen Long and Ma On Shan。咁好少㗎，咁一樣啦，都會有啲嘅 marble 都有機會出現嘅。Okay, so therefore, in conclusion, rock type is an important factor that determines the type and the distribution of landform in Hong Kong. And here you can see the summary. Okay, like this for the first one, volcanic rock, mostly tough 呢個凝灰岩啦。Okay, they're exclusive igneous rock, fine-grained with small crystal, more resistant to weathering. Therefore, it will form the upland. Okay. For the granitic rock, okay, intrusive igneous rock, okay, cross-grained with large crystal, okay, so less resistant to weathering, and it will also form the upland. But compared to the volcanic rock, that would be lower and also fatter. So that's why here we would say relatively rounded topography，OK 比較圓少少嘅啲山，但係火山岩尖啲嘅山嘅。Okay, sedimentary rocks. Okay, so layer structure or least resistant to weathering. Therefore, most area, okay, that would be lowland, except the place with thick layer of conglomerate. Okay, 除咗呢個嘅 conglomerate 之外，咁通常都會比較平少少㗎啦。咁所以你有機會去到東平洲，東平洲最高嗰點都好似約莫100米左右啦，係啦，約莫100米左右，好平嘅，係咁叫平洲，東邊嘅平洲，平嘅，咁佢係 sedimentary rocks 為主。Okay, so therefore that would be like the case of the rocks in Hong Kong. Okay. Okay, so therefore here that would be the summary, okay, of the age of the rock in Hong Kong. I would say just have it as a reference first，攞嚟做一個參考先。未必需要DBQ 通常就唔使記㗎啦，係啦。可以嘅話essay 寫到嘅話，可以寫落去俾啲名，係啦。記唔到嘅，記咗啲最簡單嗰啲先。我同你講 Miss Tilly 都記唔晒，係啦。記咩記唔晒咧？就係嗰啲嘅 geological period 啦，係啦。咁呢啲我知道好難記㗎啦，連埋年份。咁起碼睇過佢有啲嘅名先啦。OK，so OK，Devonian 泥盤紀啦。Carboniferous 石炭紀 ，Permian 二疊紀 ，Triassic OK，I think Triassic 三疊紀 ，Jurassic 侏羅紀 OK， Cretaceous 8億幾，OK Tertiary 第3紀，Quaternary 第4紀，好難記係啦。咁所以咧，我哋睇完先啦，然之後呢啲就係我哋大致讀香港嘅地質，大致讀香港嘅地質嗰啲嘅時期係啦。咁記唔到中間，記咩啊？記頭尾。頭先講過啦，記頭尾。Okay, so you can see like the formation of those rocks. So the oldest rock in Hong Kong, just now I've mentioned, 最古老嗰個嘅石頭，香港最古老嘅石頭 Buff Head 黃竹角咀 that is sedimentary rocks. It is formed between 300 to 400 million years ago. 3億至4億年之前形成嘅，係啦，咁就喺呢度黃竹角咀 Buff Head。咁我哋成日睇地質公園嗰隻鬼手就喺呢度啦，嗰、個五花腩同埋嗰隻鬼手。咁所以呢度就喺邊度呢？睇翻下面呢個地圖，就係呢一個位置啦，呢一個位置啦，香港最古老嘅石頭。咁連埋呢一度就馬屎洲啦，如果冇記錯，馬屎洲呢度，馬屎洲馬屎洲呢度係啦。咁你見到呢個色，OK， 呢個泥盤紀啦，泥盤紀啦。OK，and then 藍色啦，最後生嘅石頭 ，just now I said 通拼 trout，and this would be the sedimentary rocks. Just now I would say that is around like 20 million years. OK， 約莫2000萬年左右，至到你叫呢度見啦，係65 to 2.6 million 200萬至到6000萬年左右去到形成嘅，咁就係東平洲呢個地方噶啦，得唔得？東平洲呢啲地方啦。Okay, and then you may ask, Mr. What about like the Quaternary? Okay, what about this period? Is that the youngest? Okay, so that is at the Maple wetland. Okay, I would say yes. This area that would be the major type of rocks that would be the sedimentary rocks. But okay, you can see. So for here, that is mostly okay. Mostly, I would say that would be like some deposit， 一啲可能一啲近似沉積物嗰啲嘅一啲嘅岩石係啦。咁所以通常我哋講最後生嗰啲都會係講東平洲呢度一帶呢度係啦。咁起碼我哋記咗呢個位先。咁都係咩呢？記住都係 sedimentary rocks。Okay, they are all sedimentary rocks. Okay, and then for others, like the volcanic rocks and also granitic rocks. Okay, so the pink and the green, you can see that is formed between the Jurassic part and then the Cretaceous period. OK， 咁呢個呢，就係喺呢個嘅侏羅紀同埋白堊紀呢個階段，咁樣就去到形成呢啲嘅 volcanic rocks and also granitic rocks， 咁就會喺呢度啦，得唔得？比較中間少少噶啦，係啦。咁約莫係低過2億年左右啦，係啦，2億年之內啦，咁就會係呢啲嘅火山岩啊，同埋嗰個嘅花崗岩為主噶啦。Okay, so therefore that would be the rocks in Hong Kong. And then, yes, that is the part about the geomorphology and also geology, okay, of Hong Kong. And okay, so you may do the revision by yourself. Okay, so for the rock cycle, okay, the rock cycle, and also, so the summary of the rock type in the rock type, the three major rock type: igneous rock, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. And of course, okay, so like the distribution of the geomorphology and also geology, okay, in Hong Kong. Okay, so therefore that would be about the case, okay, so of unit 2. So about the rock cycle, about the different rock types in Hong Kong, and also the landscape and the geology of Hong Kong. Okay, so therefore that is the end of this section. Again, if you have any questions, okay, so you may WhatsApp me and also you may email me. Next time, okay, so we're going to talk about like the weathering process. Okay, so please pay attention. So that's all for today. Okay, so I will see you later and goodbye.